Okay, at this point we have this version of our circle class, and it has the initialization method as well as the additional methods to either retrieve the information about the circle or make changes by either specifying a modification to the diameter or radius, and it maintains consistency and converts that to its internal representation. Now, if we are playing around with this in Python, and we've started up the interpreter and loaded this version of the circle class, we get an instance by specifying the center and radius. One of the generally nice things about Python is if you try something like this, you're supposed to get a nice little printout of the object, but Python doesn't by default know how to create this nice little representation for an arbitrary class definition. So it has this generic version where it prints out the name of the class circle, and then you see this 0x12 business, which is a hexadecimal memory address, but not terribly user-friendly. It would be nicer if I could get a nice little display of the information about my circle. So in circle6.py, we have a little addition to our circle class to make things easier to use. So there is this special method called _repr_, and that's the method that Python will look for if you try to print out a class, or specifically an object, an instance of a class. And here what we're doing is we are returning a string, and it's going to be a string circle at et cetera, where we're going to fill in the x and y position of the center and also the radius. So now if I run with this version of the code, we're going to go ahead and start up Python again, and we get the same instantiation of this class to get an object. Now when I do print C, we see something a lot more useful, user-friendly. It's circle at coordinates 1.2, 0.8 with radius 2.2, which is a lot more useful than just seeing the hexadecimal memory address of where something sits in memory. And we can see that if I make modifications and, for example, change the radius and then print out again, the representation method dynamically retrieves that information each time you try to print out the object, so it will always be synchronized with the current state of the object.